Hey, what's up, guys? This is Brian from WhisperStatus74. Good morning. This is going to be one of those vlogging videos that talks about life, how it pertains to technology, how technology can actually pull away from our time and life and other aspects of our life, how it can rob us of the moments when it doesn't function properly, or even when it does function properly. It's first thing in the morning. I just got back from the gym. I had to go at 5 a.m. It's a little after 6. You hear the birds chirping. That does have some correlation to the story and recognizing how the technology and the things that we love begin to make us more irritated, make us not take care of things that we should be taking care of. So, a lot of the comments, we've talked a lot about balance and a lot about how there is toxicity. Now, what I find interesting with TVs and computers and video games, in many ways it reminds me a lot of sports and people that are fans of sports. And if you listen to talk radio, ESPN radio or anything like that, you can hear people as they call in are very passionate about their team, and to the point of angry, where it'll ruin their day. I don't have that. I like sports, I love sports, I've played sports. If my team loses, I'm like, all right, that sucks, but I'm not letting it affect me. When it comes to technology, video games, movies, things performing as they should, it does draw away from me. I did the correlation between games and the sports is because it shouldn't be something that frustrates us. When you hear the term real world problems, people aren't going to feel bad for you if your TV doesn't work or if your computer is not functioning or whatever. They're not going to feel bad for you. And the more expensive the item is, the less anyone's going to care. If you have a really expensive car that breaks down, people are like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So speaking of that, my car breaks down yesterday. I was having issues yesterday and I was just trying to get it home. And I found instead of being stressed or even worried, I was pretty angry. I found myself almost like that fight fire with fire thought process. I was just very frustrated. And talked to my wife, who was at work in the city, and basically telling me, I'm just gonna get it fixed, it's not a big deal. But I was very frustrated. These things always happen, and that's on top of whatever's happening in my life personally, your life personally. And then I started to get frustrated all the way around. I haven't had made time for the gym, my fitness is down, my eating is down, this and this and that. And then she said something that was interesting. She's like, well, it's been a rough few weeks since you rented that OLED. And it really kind of dawned on me that nothing wrong with the OLED, love the OLED, but sometimes having it, researching it, and that's not really to do with YouTube at all, or talking to you guys or doing the channel. That's not at all what I mean. What I'm trying to say is I could feel that having things disjointed, focusing on something intently, popping in content, taking it out, movies, not really being present, multitasking, has left me exhausted. And it reminded me of going through all those defective displays and then talking to you guys who are going through that as well. And I did the correlation again with the sports because being frustrated with what's happening is getting people that they fight. Now everybody's fighting in comments, and it's not the negativity of YouTube. This is not what this video is about. It's about understanding that these things that we love can pull from us and make us toxic and make us combative because we're tired. For instance, if you're watching sports, if you're watching football all day long or whatever, the times where I've done that, part of me subconsciously is mad that I sat there that whole time. That could be just me. Many of you might be totally at peace doing that, and that's great. There's many things that I need to get done. I have kids, I have careers, we have things, and you do feel it start to pull from you. Now, I'm aware of it. I think some people in their subconscious, it pulls for them to feel nothing was accomplished. And while you're sitting there, then your team loses. You're like, oh my God, I watched this for 3 hours and my team lost. Now, the reason I bring that up is the other day, playing Call of Duty on the OLED. And the idea is to kind of push the OLED to see how the gaming performance is. I did a video on that yesterday. And in the meantime, next to me, my PC is updating. I was having issues with Windows 10. It wouldn't take the update. It kept crashing. Finally, that gets worked out. the other day, 4 hours, uninstalling drivers, clean install, everything else. In the meantime, the NVIDIA, won't open. GeForce Experience won't open. Keeps crashing. Uninstall that. My point is that's about 5 hours of effort where nothing was accomplished. So here I am playing this video game with my buddy, playing a game I don't want to play, to see how it performs, which I've done not just for the channel, personally, to see how this movie looks or whatever. So as I'm playing it, Call of Duty can be a very frustrating game. You do very well, you're not doing well. In the meantime, my computer's over here crashing, loading, I'm over here. Point is, I'm not focused on the game. I'm not even enjoying playing the game. The game itself is frustrating. This is drawing from me. And instead of just doing what my wife, who's very an optimistic person, and I'm an optimistic, positive person, would just say, look, shut that down and move on. That's not really in a lot of our DNA when it comes to this. I want to deal with this now. I want to figure this out now. We joke about, a lot of us, about the wall of shame with video games. I haven't finished any of the games that are in a lot of these videos. I don't have the time to. It actually wears on me. But I have other things to accomplish. But the funny thing is, in the time that I spent updating that computer, messing around with it, I could have knocked out one of those games easy. And I would have gotten a good experience. I would have enjoyed it. I beat a game recently, and I let myself just be present. That was before I got the OLED. And just sat there and enjoyed the story. And it was that Rat Tail Innocence game. And really enjoyed the story, really enjoyed the game. And I ended up finding myself the other day completely exhausted. Physically exhausted. Now that physical exhaustion goes into fitness, to sleep. Workouts aren't as good. I'm not eating the way I should. 3 or 4 hours goes by. Now I'm grabbing something unhealthy to eat, and I can feel it affect my body. Feel how injuries start to creep up. Now I know this isn't a fitness channel, but all this correlates to our overall how we feel on a daily basis. How sometimes the things we love make us angry. Why I bring up sports and people that are really big into sports, people that are into cars, people that are into things that sometimes don't always work out. It can make you angry and toxic. If you're mad. So if I have less patience with my children because of something they've done, but in reality it's because I didn't sleep the night before. I wasn't really feeling the situation with my car. Yes, I'll pay for it. It sucks to have to fix something that's broken, but I was very frustrated with it, not because of the car, but because of the night before, because of how tired I am. Now, that's not a YouTube thing. I'm not saying I'm not going to do YouTube. That's not at all what this means. This correlates to all of us and the things we love. And be mindful to be in the moment. Some of you guys are purchasing displays. You're not happy with them. That's why the channel is here. I'm here to help you with it. That said, it reminds me and echoes to me how much time I've wasted agonizing over settings, agonizing over why the PC's not working. Now, while I'm bringing up the PC, as I'm bringing up the PC, there's a million games on there that I haven't beaten. Those games have been on that PC since I've had those 11 displays. And because of that year of taking back displays and messing with it, I didn't beat any of those games. And in between those games have been different graphics cards, different computers, meaning that the graphics cards that were in that computer before were never even utilized. I spent a fortune on them, sold them for almost nothing, have a new graphics card in there. Now, real world problems. Who cares, right? So what? You spend a lot of money on it. Well, that money should be somewhere else. Just because you may be able to afford this or not. I got accused a little bit of being elitist because I'm covering the OLED. And I'm not being understanding to people that are struggling financially. Guys, I covered the Vizio. I'm trying to buy a Vizio as my car breaks down to show that it performs well. I cover all these displays. But my point is, those kinds of things, next thing you know, they're taking from you, and now you're frustrated. And they're taking you out of the moment. Back to those graphics cards, someone else is enjoying those every day. My buddy of mine that bought them, his kids, he built 2 computers with the graphics cards I had in SLI. The meantime, I didn't utilize it or play any of those games. So I should have just shut that thing down, enjoyed the game with my buddy, and just played it. Instead, I was fragmented. I'll run downstairs quickly to do laundry. The next thing you know it, I'm next to the computer. Now I'm rushing with the laundry, and I'm rushing to get things done, and I'm late to the gym, or I'm late to work, or whatever. They end up distracting instead of being a joy. Instead of being that escape that so many of us want them to be, they draw from us. And this video is just about that. Is if you feel yourself feeling frustrated or mad or combative with others in your life, think about what in your life is bringing that. Is it just hardship? Is it just struggle? Or is it some of the things that we love that are hard to maintain? You know, I know a lot of you guys with cars, it's the constant tuning, it's the constant lack of value. It's the OLED's a good example. Thinking about buying a 77-inch OLED, whether I could afford it or not, is it really something that I should buy? Is it something that I should buy? And we'll do that when I do we'll talk about that more when I do the analysis of the OLED. The OLED experience has been amazing, but it's also shown me that it's not going to fix anything in life. It's not going to make my life easier. If anything, spending the money on it is going to distract and make me feel that I shouldn't have bought it, that it's going to work against me, instead of me just saying, hey, I spent the money, I love it, it's great. There's going to be that, well, is it really worth that? Which complicates life when it shouldn't. You know, it's an inanimate object. It should just be something that I enjoy and have fun with, and it just relaxes me. And I find that many of us, it pulls from us. Now, if you're one of those people, again, that can be completely present, you're enjoying your games, you're enjoying your movies, and this video is not something you're going to understand. But for those of us that can get a little more scattered, it can draw from us. And I'm saying that if you're feeling that way, put down your tablet, put down your phone, walk away from it, stop your research for a little while, stop listening to me, get off YouTube, sit back for a few days. I had to take a few days off from YouTube just because I was spending too much time on my phone answering comments. It's not a YouTube thing, guys. It's a technology thing. They talk about going to sleep with your phone or whatever, how it does draw from you. I'm downstairs playing a game with my buddy. I'm hating the game. I don't use the word hate. I'm hating my PC, and I'm physically exhausted. So, talking about fitness and nutrition, as I'm going to bed at 2:30 in the morning, I'm grabbing some Frosted Flakes. So I go upstairs, I'm eating a big bowl of, terrible food, and I'm trying to sleep. Then trying to function the next day. The next day, car breaks down. You see how it all kind of gets together. I don't feel good physically. I'm exhausted. Now, this isn't, hey, feel bad for me. There's nothing that I'm saying here. What I'm trying to say to you guys is just be mindful. If you're fatigued, sometimes look at the things you love, the things that you're passionate about, and think, is this taking from me? Is this stressing me out? Am I trying to afford something I can't afford? Am I putting pressure on myself? Am I agonizing about a purchase? Did I purchase something I shouldn't have? Or did I purchase it and it's not what I thought it was? And those things begin to beat you up and take you away from just playing those games. I bring up completing games as I'm going through the PS4 Pro, which is an awesome system. The PS4 is amazing. An amazing display. And Athene X, who was commented on the PS4, shout out to him. As I'm going through the 15 or 20 games that I'm shooting videos for, I haven't beaten any of them. The PS5 will be out shortly. And you're saying to yourself, Jesus, I haven't played these great games. Not being present. Looking for the next one. Looking to buy something else to make me feel better. That's just a life thing. Not being content. Not enjoying, I say all the time in the channel, love the one you're with. I have an amazing display, 75 inches. I went through hell to keep it. All these other take-backs or whatever. If it wasn't for the channel, I promise you I wouldn't even be looking at TVs. But the channel helps remind me of some of the drawbacks of having this love, having this passion. At a certain point, sorry about that, to say goodbye to the wife as she went to work. What I'm trying to say in this long video, though, is being away from the moment, not completing those games, then it having pressure, stupid sounds like it's pressure, to know that I wasted that console, in a way. All those great games that I didn't play, that I spent the money for, and it does wear on you. Same with consoles and PC and TVs and all the things, our surround sound not working. You know, one of the worst words in technology is intermittent. That thing works once in a while. It has a problem once in a while. Sorry. HDMI cable's not working. Things are inconsistent. Those things do draw from you. And again, the whole part of this video is to remember to be healthy. Remember to get some sleep. If that TV's not functioning, if things aren't working, or even if they are, put the remote away. Stop with the settings. We talk about this in videos. There's plenty of videos on here about settings. Addiction. Once in a while, stop worrying about the frame rate. Stop worrying about how it looks, and sit back and actually just play it. Just watch a movie. I realize how many of those Blu-rays that I have. There's gotta be 1,000 of them. I can't remember the last time I watched full movies unless I'm in the theater. I mean, really sad. And now that's part of the fun part, is going scene by scene. You know, watch a quick scene of the film, watch, it's like listening to music to me. I have them in the background, I have movies playing, more than music actually. But you're starting to realize that there's no accomplishment in a lot of it. And when things go wrong, or when things are okay with these things, we fiddle with them so much, we never get a chance to really sit and enjoy them. So what I'm trying to say is, take the remote, put it aside, power on your game, and play it. If one of your games isn't looking great or not functioning well, put it aside, go back to it later. If you know you're struggling in other parts of your life, if these things become a stress, then step away from them for a little while. You know, I'm realizing that the gaming and the technology and some of those things are fatiguing me. Not YouTube, not doing YouTube. YouTube is a great thing to be able to relate to you guys, and it actually makes me look at myself and say, okay, that's not a good place to be in. If I'm frustrated with other things, if I'm frustrated with these dogs fighting over here, because I was up all night focusing on something that doesn't really affect the rest of my life, but it is affecting it. You know, trying to make time and knowing that I should be doing other things. If you're playing video games, if you find yourself not being productive and it's bothering you in the back of your mind, then that's a problem. And that's where, you know, those of us that, even if you don't have kids, even if you're young watching this and you don't have as many responsibilities, think to yourself, you know, am I getting outside? Am I getting some exercise? Is this distracting me from eating healthy? I mean, to sit there and waste, good morning, honey, to sit there and waste those hours updating that computer and to not have it still function, which so many of us in PC have done. I could have beaten a game, I could have watched a movie, I could have just sat back and relaxed, I could have spent time with my kids, and then after that I went and made it worse by eating something unhealthy. That could be somebody who's drinking, somebody who's doing something else unhealthy, and then I'm going to climb into bed and think that I'm going to wake up the next day ready to battle the world. And it's drawn on me. These few weeks with the OLED, getting the OLED, renting the OLED, transferring it over, even spending the money on it, whatever. Picking it up, dropping it off, the whole process, the time it took just to get it was hours. That's not even then. So I guess my point is, in researching the OLED and using it, it reminded me how unpresent or how distant I can be from everything else. You know, my wife had said, hey, it's been a bad few weeks. And I'm like, what do you mean it's been a bad few weeks? It's been great. She's like, you've been more irritable. You know, I've been tired, fatigued. And that's something I've enjoyed doing, but make sure it doesn't pull from the rest of your life. Make sure that some of these things don't make you angry. Think about it like the sports thing. Think about how something that's got nothing to do with you can make you angry or frustrated, or in other aspects of your life, make you less patient with your children or with your girlfriend or boyfriend or partner or whatever. If you see yourself being less patient, less tolerable, and that's what I've been saying in my own life. And it's video games, it's technology. These are things that are supposed to bring me joy. And if you find that they're not, turn them off, walk away from them. You find that you're fatigued, stop with watching YouTube. Stop with the constant content. Point in case, while I'm filming this, I've already fed the dogs, did everything else in the morning, and they're making me crazy. And I find that I'm less patient. And that's kind of the point, which makes this whole video make sense. Take care of yourself, take care of your mind, be more patient with yourself, be more patient with others around you, be more patient with others in this channel, in this community. People are so quick to jump all over each other and defend it. I think a lot of us, because subconsciously it's drawing from us. We want to defend our purchases because, damn, this thing stressed me out. I spent a lot of money on it. Inanimate object. Don't let it affect you. I'm here to tell you that I'm not perfect. It's affected me. Just in a few weeks of dealing with the OLED, it's hurt my fitness, it's hurt my sleep, it's hurt my performance in life, and to be mindful of it. Make sure you love these things, that you get pleasure from them, that they don't draw from you. And that's the whole point of this long video. I'm sorry it's disjointed and I stopped 10 times. Don't let it take over the rest of your life. If you're not finding joy in it, walk away from it. Give yourself a few days. Play some games, watch some movies. Stop looking at the settings and the blooming and all the things that drive us nuts. Just watch. Look at the middle of the screen and watch the content. Stop looking for the flaws and just focus for a little while on being present and completing some of these things. And I'll try to take my own advice. But I had to relate this video because this is what this community is. This is not just a TV channel. I'm not going to just review TVs. This is part of it, is my thoughts. And if you guys can relate from it at all, or take anything from it that can help you, or you can just say, hey, I feel that way too, then it's worth me doing the video and taking time from the rest of my day. But I need myself personally to find a little bit more balance in how things bleed into life. Thank you as always, guys. Sorry for the long video. Please leave me your thoughts in the comments, and thank you so very much for everything you guys do, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.